Welcome, welcome, welcome to Raggedy Ass Bitch TV, the podcast where we talk about things that make you want to scream into the void. I'm your host, and today we are discussing a classic, a timeless frustration, something that has annoyed people since the beginning of time. I'm talking about unsolicited advice. Specifically, why everyone thinks they're qualified to give it. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's the thing. You're venting to someone. Could be about work, relationships, life in general. Doesn't matter. You're just talking. You're just getting it out. You're not asking for solutions. You're not asking for help. You just need someone to listen. But then they open their mouth. You know what you should do? No, I don't. And I didn't ask. But here they go anyway, launching into a whole speech about what they would do in your situation, telling you how to fix your life, giving you a step-by-step plan you didn't request, and you're just sitting there like, I just wanted to complain. I didn't sign up for a coaching session. And the advice is always so generic too. It's never anything groundbreaking. It's always stuff like, have you tried talking to them? Yes, obviously. That's basic human communication. You just need to focus on yourself. Oh, wow. Revolutionary. I never thought of that. Everything happens for a reason. That's not advice. That's a bumper sticker. And they say these things with such confidence, like they just dropped some profound wisdom on you. Like they're Oprah or something. But it's just empty phrases, cliches, things people say when they don't actually know what to say, but feel like they need to say something. And here's the thing. When you're going through something difficult, when you're struggling, the last thing you need is someone hitting you with fortune cookie wisdom. You don't need platitudes. You don't need generic solutions. You need someone to acknowledge that what you're going through is hard and sit with you in that difficulty. But here's what really gets me. It's not that the advice is bad. Sometimes it's actually decent. The problem is, I didn't ask for it. And when you give someone advice they didn't ask for, you're basically saying, I know better than you. Even if you don't mean it that way, that's how it comes across. Because think about it. When you launch into advice mode without being asked, you're making an assumption. You're assuming that the person hasn't already thought about their situation, that they are incapable of figuring out their own life. And that's insulting, even when it's not meant to be. I'm an adult. I've been handling my own problems for years. Just because I'm talking about something difficult doesn't mean I'm incompetent or clueless. Sometimes I know what I need to do. I just need to process it out loud first. Sometimes I'm not ready to take action yet. Sometimes I just need validation that what I'm feeling is real. But when you jump straight to here's what you should do, you are skipping over all of that. And you know who the worst offenders are? People who have never been in your situation. Like, you're talking about your job, and someone who's never worked in your industry is out here telling you how to handle your boss. Or you're talking about a relationship issue, and someone who's been single for 5 years is giving you marriage advice. Like, I love you, but what do you know about this? You've never been here. But they are so confident. They are out here talking like they're a life coach. Like they've got it all figured out. Meanwhile, their own life is a mess. I've had people with terrible credit tell me how to manage my finances. I've had people who can't keep a job for more than 6 months tell me about career strategy. I've had people who haven't spoken to their own family in years tell me how to handle family drama. The audacity. And it's not that you need to have experienced everything to have something valuable to contribute. You don't. But there's a difference between offering perspective and acting like you are an expert on something you've never dealt with. There's a difference between saying, I wonder if, and saying you need to. One is offering a thought, the other is giving a directive. And I think part of this comes from our society's obsession with fixing everything immediately. We're so uncomfortable with negative emotions, with problems, with struggle, that we immediately jump to solutions. Someone's sad? Fix it. Someone's angry? Fix it. Someone's going through something hard? Fix it. Right now. Immediately. But life doesn't work that way. Not everything can be fixed quickly. Not everything has a simple solution. Some things just need time. And when you try to fix someone's problem before they're ready to fix it themselves, or before they've even processed what they're feeling, you are actually not helping. You are just making them feel like their feelings are a burden, like they need to hurry up and get over it so you don't have to be uncomfortable anymore. Because let's be honest, sometimes unsolicited advice isn't about helping the other person. It's about making yourself feel better. It's about feeling useful, feeling smart, feeling like you contributed something. But if the other person didn't ask for it, if they are not in a place to receive it, then you're not actually helping them. You're helping yourself feel like you helped. Now, I'm not saying advice is always bad. I'm not saying never share your perspective or experiences. There's a time and a place for advice. When someone asks for it, when someone says, I don't know what to do, or what would you do in this situation, or do you have any suggestions? That's your green light. That's when your input is welcome and wanted. And even then, there's a way to give advice that respects the other person's autonomy and intelligence. You can say, here's what worked for me, instead of, here's what you need to do. You can say, have you considered, instead of, you should. You can offer options instead of directives. You can acknowledge that they know their situation better than you do. Because good advice isn't about showing how smart you are or how much you know. It's genuinely about helping someone think through their options. And sometimes the best way to help someone think through their options is to ask questions, not give answers. What do you think your options are? What feels right to you? What's holding you back from doing what you want to do? Those questions help people figure it out for themselves, which is always more powerful than someone else telling them what to do. And can we talk about how this often breaks down along gender lines? Women complain about this all the time. We'll be venting, and men immediately jump in with solutions. We don't want solutions. We want empathy. We want validation. We want someone to say, yeah, that sucks, and sit with us in it. But men are socialized to be fixers, to be problem solvers. So when they hear a problem, they think their job is to fix it. And women are socialized to be nurturers, to listen, to provide emotional support. So when we're talking about a problem, we're often looking for that emotional connection, not a practical solution. And I'm not saying this is true for everyone. I know women who jump straight to advice mode. I know men who are great listeners, but it's just a pattern. And it causes a lot of frustration in relationships, friendships, all kinds of interactions. So, if you're someone who tends to give advice when people are venting, try this. Stop and ask yourself, did they ask for my advice? Or are they just processing out loud? If you're not sure, ask them. Do you want advice? Or do you just need to vent? That one question can save so much frustration. But here's the thing. I think people give unsolicited advice because they are trying to be helpful. They genuinely think they are doing you a favor. And I appreciate that. I do. The intention is good. But here's what people don't realize. Sometimes the most helpful thing you can do is just listen. Not everything needs to be fixed. Not every problem needs a solution. Sometimes people just need to talk. Sometimes they need to hear themselves say it out loud to figure out what they think. Sometimes they need someone to witness their struggle and say, I see you. This is hard. Sometimes they just need to not feel alone in what they are going through. And when you jump straight to advice, you rob them of that. You turn their emotional experience into a problem to be solved instead of a feeling to be felt. So, here's my advice. Ironic? I know. If someone is venting to you and they haven't asked for your opinion, don't give it. Just listen, nod, say, that sounds really hard, or I'm sorry you're going through that. And if you really think you have something valuable to add, ask first. Say, do you want advice or do you just need to vent? And if you are on the receiving end of unsolicited advice, you are allowed to shut it down. You can say, I appreciate it, but I'm not looking for solutions right now. I just needed to talk. You can say, thanks, but I've already thought about that. You can say, I know you're trying to help, but what I really need is just someone to listen. You don't have to sit there and nod while someone tells you how to live your life. You don't have to pretend their advice is helpful when it's not what you need. You don't have to make them feel better about giving you advice you didn't want. Set the boundary. Redirect the conversation. Take control of what you need, because your emotional needs are valid. And if what you need is a listener, not an advisor, you have every right to ask for that. At the end of the day, this comes down to respect. Respecting that people are capable of figuring out their own lives. Respecting that not everything needs your input. Respecting that sometimes the best thing you can offer is your presence, not your solutions. So the next time someone is venting to you, resist the urge to fix it. Just be there with them. Let them feel what they are feeling. Let them figure it out on their own timeline. And if you are the one venting, don't be afraid to tell people what you need. You are allowed to ask for what serves you. That's all for today's episode of Raggedy Ass Bitch TV. If you've ever been that person given unsolicited advice, maybe take a step back and ask next time. And if you've been on the receiving end, just know your feelings are valid and you are allowed to set boundaries. Until then, stay raggedy, stay self-aware, and remember, sometimes the best advice is no advice. Stay unfiltered, stay unbought, stay free.